Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a very special, very surprise edition of Point of View. I say very surprise because, let's just address it now, I am alone this week. Justin could not make it, mainly because we didn't invite him. I'm already out of breath, but it is Justin's 24th birthday today. So the reason I call it a very surprise episode, he doesn't even know it's coming out. We thought, Dan is the producer of Point of View, how do you surprise the king of surprises? He threw me a 25th birthday that I had a party that I had absolutely no idea about back in March, and I thought, okay, we can't throw him a surprise party. That's too obvious. And plus, half of Justin's friend, and he has a lot, are around the country and around the world. So, how are we going to do it? We're going to hijack the show this week. We're not even supposed to have an episode coming out. Again, he has absolutely no clue that this is coming out. He's going to hear it for the first time with everybody else. Justin, I want to speak to you. You are we love you. But to me, you are one of the kindest, just coolest, to be quite honest with you, in my opinion, most considerate, genuine, one of my absolute best friends. I'm so excited to honor you in this way. We are going to be looking at, this goes out to everyone, we're going to be looking back today at some of Justin's best moments on Point of View, the highlights, if you will. Who the hell is calling me right now? Let me just see. Hello? Hi. I really don't think I have time. I really, really, really don't think I have time. But if you could bring me back something. Barbecue chicken tenders and french fries. Do you want to say happy birthday to Justin on the podcast? I'm putting you on speaker. All right, you're on speaker.
Hi, Justin. I just wanted to wish you the happiest of birthdays. I have such fond memories of you helping us plan Nick's 25th. And I hope you have the most wonderful day and the most wonderful year. Happy birthday.
Thank you. All right, I'll see you when you get home. Bye. My mom, everybody. No, so yeah, we're going to be looking back at Justin's best moments, and we hope you enjoy. And Justin, again, a very, very happy birthday. We're so excited to celebrate you today. And also, this episode is brought to you by Soup. We did reach out to Campbell's, and they politely declined to sponsor this episode. So we're just going to call it Soup in general. We also, we didn't even try with NPR, but that would have been cool. Justin also likes NPR. This episode is also brought to you by the color orange, because that is not trademarked in any way whatsoever, and Justin loves that color. So honor Justin today. Everybody wear orange. If you're listening to this now, go change. And yeah, let's just get into it. I want to start with the very first moment we met Justin on the podcast. This was July 9th, I believe, 2021. This is our very first episode when he introduced himself. Let's listen.
You and I met in campus ministry because we were interested in that type of stuff. And then, I feel like you just have to work that much harder when you graduate because you don't have those structures in place to these past couple of months since graduating in May, I've been trying to figure out, okay, what outlet, how do I need to formulate my thoughts here. How do I, where's my outlet for faith? I'm going church shopping in my area, trying to figure out, what is there a parish that has that community? Or where's my, I have a passion for social justice. What outlet in the real world can I use to be that? It could be the parish, could be somewhere else. I'm a tennis player, so I feel I should probably get a membership at a tennis club, but I feel like you have to work that much harder, and it's just life. That's what life is. But I'm currently unemployed. We're actually kind of unemployed. There's kind of a caveat there. Nick is talking about you're job searching, and I was talking with Ryan, and he's I'm not really making friends at my job. So I feel it's a common misconception that you make friends at your job, and maybe that's true, but how true is that? I guess it depends on where you work, but
Okay, so that was from, as I said before, episode 1. That was the first time we met Justin, or you guys met Justin. I had known him at that time for, let's see, so that was 2021, and we met in 2017. So, what is that? 18, 19, 20, 21. I had already known him for 4 years. And Justin, that was, I don't know. I just think back to when I was a senior and you were a junior, and I had already thought like we were really good friends. Like, not that our friendship had peaked, but like we were already really close, right? When we were in school and everything, I considered you one of my best friends. I couldn't, even at that time, have imagined the ride we would go on after college. And I think that's so cool because I've said this before on the show, but like when I met you in campus ministry in 2017, it's like, okay, like I can't imagine going back in time and telling myself, oh, this kid that you barely know, you're going to be like really, really close with him and you're going to have a show, a podcast that runs for 2+ years. Like that is so exciting. But I wouldn't have even have been able to tell you that when we graduated or when I graduated. So it just goes to show, and with any friend really, that there's so much more that might happen that you don't even know about. So I don't know. It just brings me excitement for the rides we'll go on in the future. That's the first thing I wanted to say about that. The second thing is I wanted to show that clip because we're going to talk and we're going to hear today how you've grown throughout the duration of this show so far, because that really is what the show is about. How you and I have, we're really documenting our journey post-college, and that's what's so special to me about Point of View. So that was the first time we met you, or the listeners met you, but we're gonna now listen to another clip, and this is from, I believe, this is episode 27. This is episode 27. It was our, I believe, let me think, it was 25, 26, it was our 4th episode of 2022, and it was basically a check-in. It was like a 1 year later on how we were doing. So let's listen.
I am in my childhood bedroom still, yes, but I feel like this space has morphed into more than that. It is my childhood bedroom. It is also now my current bedroom. I don't sleep in a different bedroom just because this was my childhood bedroom. It's also my home office, and it's also my podcast studio. So I feel like it's added meaning and morphed into something with a different purpose, and that has kind of helped me during this time where I am living at home, right? Like I'm making this home work for me as an adult now. And I feel like in these last 7 months, I've kind of figured out even more because I moved back home in May. So during the last however many months that is, I don't do recreational math, it's been a process of trying to figure out what's that like, what's living with my parents like, and I feel like I've done that well. An example of that is I'm trying to figure out if I need parental permission to do things or like leave the house or whatnot, right? So I've kind of realized that while I don't necessarily need parental permission, I mean, my parents are obviously going to be worried about me. I just need to kind of let them know what I'm doing or something like that. So it's just like, hey, I'm leaving the house. I'll be back at this time. And that's fine. That's not necessarily permission, I guess, but it's something that I've had to adjust to because when you're in college, you don't need anybody's permission to do anything, right? You just go and do whatever and nobody really cares except for your friends and if your safety's in danger, which my parents also care and they worry about my safety.
Also from episode 27.
I have multiple jobs, but my main job being working at the hospital as a research assistant. When Omicron was huge, like the spike was at like still climbing, they wanted all non-essential employees to be remote. And since I was a research assistant, I wasn't doing any clinical activities. I've been working remotely. And there's pluses and minuses to it, you know? The plus side is I'm in the comfort of my own home. I don't necessarily have to dress up or anything. If I want to wear sweats one day, I could just wear sweats one day. another plus side is if I have a relatively slow day, I don't have to sit at my computer in an office and just refresh my email. I've been in some positions where I've done that before. The downside is I'm a very social person. And so if I'm just sitting at my home office and not interacting with any of my colleagues or my supervisor or my boss, then it becomes not the best work environment for me, because I love doing those things, right? I like interacting with people. I like having conversations with people, whether it be work related or not. But I'm missing that when I work remotely. And so that's been something that's been a little bit challenging. While I like the work that I do overall, the day-to-day has been tricky. But you asked about how COVID's affected my job.
I mean, you kind of started to answer that, though, because you're remote because, in part because of the pandemic. Your work really said to you, we need you in a space, just not this space.
Just not this space, right, exactly. Exactly. But when I do go in, which seems to be about once a week, I just have to do the screening that I'm sure we're all used to of, do you have any of these symptoms? No. And then because it's a hospital, no matter what mask I come into the building with, I have to remove that one and take a mask that they provide.
Okay. I have so many thoughts. First of all, we're listening to your glow up in real time. We're also listening to the glow up of the audio, and shout out Dan and shout out our microphones, because the contrast from the clip we played from episode 1 and then the clip we played from episode 27, oh my god. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, you talk about masks in a literal sense. We've literally, COVID has been a part, really, more or less, of our entire journey post-college and a little bit during college, as, listeners will know. But I want to talk a little bit about what I consider to be the episode that is your, I don't even know if I'm saying this right, magnum opus. Because this was in my opinion, to this day, your stroke of genius, episode 11, when we talked about the figurative masks we wear. And when it comes to, doing an episode about you and the highlights that you've brought to this show, I couldn't not include that. So we're going to listen to that in a second. But before we do that, I couldn't do this episode alone. So I invited pillars, I'm going to call them pillars of the episode, people that have meant a lot to you throughout your life, to share their happy birthday messages with you. So we're going to listen to the first one now. I'm not going to say who it is, but we're very grateful to them. Dan and I thank you at this person. So here we go. Let's listen.
Happy 24th birthday, Justin. I am so grateful to have experienced every stage of life with you, and I'm so excited to see you step into this next chapter. You are so kind, encouraging, and welcoming to everyone that you meet, and I'm just so proud of everything that you have accomplished, and I cannot wait to watch you take this next big leap. I so greatly cherish the wisdom and the intentionality that you bring to our friendship, and I just hope that you have the best day ever, but here's to 24.
Lauren, that was so well done and so well said. I've loved getting to know you in the past year, and I think I speak for both Justin and I when I say we cannot wait for you to get back to Boston. And now for the clip from the mask episode.
I feel like my definition of fake is surface level. Because if I only am able to get to know someone on a very surface level, I really like getting to know people genuinely. Even if we just met, I'm not afraid to go into what it's like at dinner parties. What are the two topics that people usually tell you to stay away from? Religion and politics. And what do I like talking about with people is, what do you feel like, what's your view on what's happening in the world, and what's your spirituality and faith? I love that stuff.
So it's funny because initially, when I wanted to talk about that episode, first of all, we just went back in time from episode 27 to episode 11, hence the shitty quality is back. But no, the reason I wanted to initially talk about that episode is because I felt it was such a stimulating conversation. But when I actually went back, and it was, but you can listen to that episode if you want to hear the full conversation. When I went back to find clips from the episode, I stumbled on what you just heard, and I thought, that is Justin in a nutshell. Like, Justin, you're obviously so much more than that, too, which we talked about in the episode, actually, episode 11. But that is you, and it proves my point, what I was saying earlier. One of the things I like about you is that you're authentic, and you like to go to those deep places. He and I call it deep talk, but it's so true. Some of my fondest memories with you and our friendship so far have been, being in campus ministry at 2 a.m, 3 a.m, sometimes on a weekend. Like, who does that? Us and our friend group. Just, talking about life. Like, I can probably count the time, like I would need more than 10 fingers to count the times we did that in campus ministry. I think about the same thing, like I've been on FaceTime with you, or not FaceTime, but whatever, Messenger, I think, or on the phone in my bed till like 1 a.m. It starts off, talking about the podcast, and then we just get to talking about life. Same thing, like I have memories like in your bedroom, like we're just on the floor talking. Like it's that is you in a nutshell, what you just said in that episode. So I think we're going to leave it at that for episode 11. And if you want to hear more of the conversation, because like I said, it was phenomenal, feel free to go listen to that. But we're going to move on, and we're going to hear from our next guest.
Happy birthday from me and Marissa.
Happy birthday.
And the entire DeVilliers family. Love you, buddy.
And for those of you that don't know, that was Ryan DeVilliers. He's been a guest on the show once and a guest host on the show once. And he lived with Justin in college for, I believe, 3 years. And I really believe that there's a strong bond between college roommates when you're also friends. I know that's the case for my college roommate and I, sophomore, junior, and senior year. So thank you, Ryan, for sending that in. One of the things that I really admire about Justin is his commitment to challenging toxic masculinity. This goes back to a little bit of what we said on episode 11, but we had a whole discussion about it, episode 33. And since I've known you, Justin, that is something that, like, you really, in my opinion, define what it means to be a good man, especially in this day and age. Like, that's something that I gravitated towards, I feel. And one of the reasons that really spoke for itself before I really got to know you well. And I think that's admirable. I think that's something that you don't see every day. And I think it takes a very secure person to present themselves that way. And I thank you for it, honestly. I want to show a little bit of that clip, or hear a little bit of that clip.
Why the hell can't I cry? My grandmother passed away. I'm sad. Like, if people judge me for crying in this moment, that's more on them than it is for me. I can be sad. And so whenever I guess have those moments of like feeling deeply, and I will say I am a deep feeler.
Yes,
no matter
you are.
what the emotion is.
You are. I was until now I'm on Zoloft.
But I am a deep feeler, and so it was those moments where, like, if people judge me for how I'm feeling, I don't mind crying in public. I don't mind crying in front of my friends. I don't mind crying in front of strangers, because if people judge me, they don't know what I'm going through, and no matter what, I have a very valid reason to feel what I feel. And so it was that moment that started me on the journey of trusting in my feelings and realizing and validating my feelings no matter what they are, which, going back to our conversation about masculinity, that's frowned upon as if you identify as a man, it's frowned upon to show your emotions, right? Because it's seen as feminine, it's seen as weak. But that, I think, is where the toxicity comes in.
I honestly don't know if I can follow that, what Justin just said. Aside from just thanking you, Justin, for being an example to men. That's really all I can say there. But we're going to go to another one of Justin's friends. This person has been friends with Justin for a while. I often smile when I think of this friendship because I've heard a lot of funny stories that they've had, and I don't know, I'm just very grateful to this person for the friendship that he's shown Justin. I don't know. It's a really interesting feeling for me. He'll eat all the food in your fridge, but he owns it, and we love him for that. He's just a really good guy, so let's hear from him.
Hey Justin, just want to wish you a happy 24th birthday. Unfortunately, unlike years past, we won't be able to throw you a massive surprise party even though I think you knew they were already happening. But nevertheless, it's still your birthday and we all want to celebrate it. So let us know, we'll take you out for drinks. On the other hand, it's going to be unfortunate that you're going to be moving down for a few years down to Baltimore. Won't be able to hang out as much, or really maybe throw surprise parties. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. We'll see for future birthdays. But still, in the present, wishing you a happy 24th birthday. Hope we can hang out soon. See ya, Gordon.
Perfect. Thank you, Gordon. We're going to move on, and I know I've beaten this horse like it's dead, but you cannot have an episode about Justin Dew without discussing, you all know what I'm about to say, the 4 Fs. Let's be honest, Justin does not use vulgarity often. And I think that's why our audience loved that episode so much, episode 12, and specifically that part of the episode. We've talked about it a lot. Justin was gifted a shirt by a relative that says the 4 Fs on it, but we're just going to play the clip of him saying the 4 Fs, and then we're not going to talk about it. We're just going to leave it alone. Roll the clip, because everyone loves it. Everyone but Justin.
For me, I learned it was the 4 Fs. French, feel, finger.
Oh my god! Exactly. Alright, we need to pivot. So we're going to go to something wholesome. This is from episode 36. This was Justin's mom talking about him. And it's really sweet. And one of our most loved episodes by listeners.
Justin, his whole life, and I think this continues into adulthood, is very curious. And we used to call him, like, Curious George. We would call him Curious Justin. And so this story kind of relates to that. So we are looking at a venue for our parents' anniversary party, and that venue will remain unnamed, and you'll know why at the end of this story. So we are looking around.
Legal reasons.
Yes. We're looking around, and I see Justin's wandering eye, and I'm thinking, what is he curious about now? So for a minute, we start talking to the planner, and I lose track of my kids on the grounds. I can see them, but I'm thinking, where is he going? And all of a sudden, I see Justin at 7 and his 5-year-old brother on a golf cart, and they're driving it.
Oh!
And they're driving it. So, awesome. Yes. So my sisters and I start screaming. I'm holding Ashley's hand. Justin, stop driving that cart! Screaming at him. So he literally stops driving that cart, jumps out with his brother, and the golf cart goes into the pond. Down the hill. Into the pond.
Oh my
And I turn to look at
gosh.
the event planner, and I say, I am so sorry. I will pay for everything. Needless to say, we did not have our event at that place.
Wow.
Justin.
I just want to say, in my defense, there was no key in the golf cart, so it shouldn't have been able to move. But apparently, this one was like equipped with an emergency setting, where if you flipped, there was the forward, reverse, and emergency. And when it's flipped into emergency, it still works when there's no key. So I pressed the accelerator, and we started moving, and then my mom yelled at me, and then we were like, okay, stop driving. So we jumped out, and we didn't apply the parking brake, and so it just kept rolling. The manufacturing error.
Terrifying.
No idea, but I did ask Justin, what made you think of doing that? I was just so curious how it worked, where it would go, how fast it would go. And there you have it, Curious Justin.
Curiosity hasn't killed the Justin yet, but yeah,
almost did.
I'm only 22, so it almost did.
That's awesome.
2 years later. You would not believe the amount it takes that took to get it right. But we move on. We're going to hear from another special person in Justin's life, and at this person, Dan and I would like to extend a huge thank you for helping us make some of the moves necessary to create this episode. We could not have done it without you.
Happy 24th birthday, Justin. It is kind of crazy that you're only 1 year away from being halfway to 30, but that's okay. We'll remind you of that next year. I am super grateful that you are in my life and that I get to spend so much time with you and to be around you all the time. You make everything better, whether it's just us or when we're in a group. I am so grateful for your bubbly, energetic, and positive presence. You know how to make everybody around you feel seen, including me, all the time. And whether it's a bad day or a good day or anything in between, you are always there to listen and care and support me and all of your friends. And I am so grateful for that. We love having you in our lives, and I cannot wait to see what 24 brings for you. Happy birthday. I love you, and you are the best.
Wow, this episode is flying by. I must have blinked. Get it, Mairead? I don't think anyone else is going to get it, but that's okay. I've always thought about Point of Due as a show about growth. As I mentioned before, it literally documents Justin and I's lives post-undergrad graduation. If you've heard our more recent episodes, you'll know that Justin announced some big life changes coming up, namely that he's going back to school. We are super proud of him here at Point of Due, though I will say I will miss him dearly in Massachusetts. I will go visit him in Baltimore, and the show will continue with Justin. He's expressed nothing but interest in continuing the show. But without further ado, let's hear Justin share the news for the first time back on episode 68, our AI episode, that he got into Loyola for grad school.
I am very good. I'm excited to share that I'll be going to Loyola for the next 5 years.
Oh my God! Congratulations! This is, guys, I'm finding this out live with you.
This is breaking news.
Did you like officially like sign your life away?
I signed my life away. That's what it feels like. Yeah, I submitted my deposit last night. I was between two schools. It was kind of like, I'm the type of person, I might have said this before, that was more analysis paralysis. And so I was just like, I don't want to miss something. I need to make sure before I make the decision that I look at everything and this and that and everything. And I was like, I am getting so into the weeds that it's just, this is crazy. Like, I know what my gut is saying. And someone actually told me, don't listen to your head, don't listen to your heart, listen to what your gut is saying.
I hate that.
Because like sometimes like your emotions get in the way, and also your like analytical side and logic can get in the way. But like really listen to that gut feeling. And for a bit of time now, I have known that I think Loyola was the right decision. So impulsively, I just told my parents. And they were like, wait, what? And then my mom decided to get champagne, and then my dad decided to make mudslides, and then I had 3 alcoholic beverages.
Justin's always been very passionate about Loyola. He's Mr. Loyola, if I'm being honest. Justin, when you were going through your discernment process, trying to figure out which grad school to attend, I was Team Loyola all the way. I know they say, sometimes you should try something new, but the way you light up when you're there is just something else, and I'm so excited for you. We wanted to end this episode with 2 very special guests. More than 2, really, but two recordings, we'll say. Neither of them need introductions. I'm going to give them both one. Both, I would say, represent home away from home. The first one, we needed to, let's say, whip out our passports to contact. And for those of you that don't know, that was the Windeloo family of Denmark. They were Justin's host family when he studied abroad there. I just want to speak to them for a second and say thank you guys so much for sending in that message. I am so excited that we were able to pull this off, and I know Justin's going to be so shocked and so surprised when he hears you guys. So thank you so much, and we send our best wishes from the US. And now, we'll hear from someone who I know Justin considers a friend, a mentor, and a great example of someone who lives by their faith.
I always remember Justin's birthday because it's the same day that St. Ignatius died, otherwise known as Iggy Day. But my first memories of Justin really are from probably December of 2017, when, as a first-year student, he came to Alumni Chapel in a loud red, white, and blue star-shaped reindeer Christmas tree Christmas suit that set him apart from everyone else in the room. And he has been a person of distinction ever since. Justin, I hope you have a great birthday. I look forward to reconnecting on a more regular basis when you get back to Baltimore. And have a great day tomorrow.
I think this episode would be incomplete without a few words from the producer, so here I am. Justin, it's an absolute pleasure celebrating you, and I wish you the best for this special day. I hope you enjoy this surprise as much as I enjoyed putting this together with Nick, if not more. Once again, happy birthday. Nick, take it away.
So that's it. That's our Justin Palooza, our celebration of his 24th birthday. If you love Justin, please share this episode on your story. Share your stories about Justin. We want to make him feel the love. Justin, from Dan and I, happy birthday. There's only one thing funnier than 24.
H.